today's Monday. Last Tuesday morning, I ordered a starter for Bev's car. Long story. I am a parts replacer, not a diagnostician on automobiles. All I can do is make the best educated guesses that my knowledge base can allow me to make, and start replacing parts that seem to be the most obvious problem. The battery was a problem because it had a dead cell. It wouldn't hold the charge, and the dead cell would suck the charge out of the battery. So it was only 10 months old, so I went and they gave me a brand new battery. And so it wasn't bad. Actually, it started up. I worked on it over here, put a new battery in it, cranked right up, drove it around to Bev's garage. And the next day, she came out and cranked it up and shut it off just to be sure it would crank. And then when she needed it, it wouldn't crank. It did that clicking thing all over. So I was thinking, there's got to be something wrong. So, I mean, all this is in the videos, but I'm telling you this now. There will be a video coming up when I have all the parts that I can possibly replace on the car and it's running. So anyway, I found the battery in just a very short time was heavily corroded. And there's two things that cause it: a bad ground or not charging the battery up after you run it. Now, Bev, she only drives her car like a half a mile down to our little market here and back. So it doesn't even have a chance to charge from starting it. And over time, it gets, lower and lower and lower. And when I put the charger on the battery this time, brand new battery, it was already down to 65%. So I took the battery back out, and I found two ground wires from the battery that had corrosion on them. And when I pulled the ground wires off, they had paint underneath them. So they were relying on the bolt going into the threads and landing, tightening down on the terminal for the ground. So I ground the paint off those two grounds I come on. Actually, I sanded the paint off, and no difference. Didn't crank. So I checked the charge again. It was still at 100%. So I ordered a solenoid because it was clicking. I mean, in my mind, a clicking solenoid means you got to replace the solenoid. The solenoid's not kicking the starter in. So I put a new solenoid on it, and it just continued to click. So I did some Googling, and the next most obvious thing is just a starter worn out, not able to kick its starter drive gear into the flywheel to turn the engine over. So Tuesday, I ordered a starter. They created a shipping label, of course. So Wednesday it didn't leave. Thursday it didn't leave. Friday, finally. And they're telling me, the shipping label was created, and they're telling me that it'll be here Friday. They said, and it didn't leave till Friday. So they must have flown it here from Kearney, New Jersey to Dallas, and from Dallas to Shreveport, and it got in Shreveport 1 a.m. yesterday. So I've been watching it today, expecting it to be here because it goes from Shreveport to here, and it didn't. It hasn't moved. So Bev's been without a car all this time, and I just came back from the grocery store, and whenever I go anywhere, since she doesn't have a car, I ask her if she needs anything because, not having a car sucks. Anyway, I should have the starter tomorrow. And I really believe that's going to be the end of it. And if it is, I'm going to pull that brand new solenoid off and see if I can pass it off as brand new, never having been installed, and send it back to Rock Auto and get that money refunded. Plus, I got to send the starter core back to them for like $70 or $80 core fee. Alrighty. Video's coming, and today's the first day it hasn't been in the hundreds. We have had several days of heat that would kill me. I have to be very careful. The meds I'm on say specifically, do not get overheated, do not spend much time in the sun. And where I'm working on a fence down here, there's no shade. It's right in the sun. So I've had to just put it off till it gets cooler. It's right down there. Here, I'll zoom you in a little bit. That's where I'll be starting, that pole. And goes down that way, another 100 feet, and then about 25 more feet. I got the most important part of the fence done, and that's my yard. And this is just secondary. And I'm also giving thought to digging a well again. And if I do, I think it'll be down here. And I'll run a chain from that tree to that tree, because there's no way I can pull 20 feet of pipe back up out of the ground by hand filled with dirt. And I'll have to have help pulling it up out of the ground. But I think, I'm sorry. That's a project, and pouring a level pad for my propane tank up by my generator is a project. Okay, I'm going home. I'm gonna eat some tater salad and some brisket. I wasn't able to cook the brisket in the solar oven like I wanted to yesterday because it was cloudy. Alrighty, have a good one, y'all.